JP, thanks for having us, and I'm delighted and excited to be talking to you today about the Donate Your Day initiative.
Yep.
To kick things off, can you just give us a little bit more of a background as to what is the Arrows Group Foundation and how have you built a connection with the War Child charity?
Sure. Look, yeah, and thanks for coming, Sean. So, the Arrows Group Foundation, we set it up 3.5 years ago. It's a charity completely focused on supporting and protecting vulnerable children around the world. So we've done projects in India,
Wow.
some projects close to home as well. And the War Child connection came around really through a meeting of minds with a guy who's on the board at War Child. For anyone who doesn't know War Child, they're a charity that's 25 years old, and they focus purely on the protection of vulnerable children who are caught up in conflict zones around the world. So ultimately, people on the ground looking after or trying to protect kids who are in the worst places in the world. And the two charities are a really good blend. We've got a lot in common. We're trying to help the same cause, and they're a great team for us to be able to work with. So it made real sense.
How did you get introduced?
Collaboration. So a good friend of mine who's now on the board at War Child, and he's done a load of work for them all around the world. So he was able to make that connection for us. And as hopefully I'll explain, it's a cause well worth supporting, but also it's really, really in line with what the Arrows Group Foundation has been able to achieve over the last few years.
Amazing, exciting. So Donate Your Day is coming up, 20th of June.
Yep.
Tell us about it. Give us some background as to why does it exist and
So it's a pretty simple concept. It's on the 20th of June. That's World Refugee Day.
Yep.
We came up with the idea of us being able to. Every person works on the average about 250 to 252 days a year. This is an opportunity for you to empower you and your colleagues to be able to work that day, go to work like usual, but work for free. And all the money that we will be able to get from that the salary that you sacrifice for that day, we can pump straight into War Child, their teams on the ground that are helping children right now. So it's a really simple concept. You don't have to wear lycra for the day. You haven't got to climb a mountain or anything like that. It empowers us as individuals, or us as teams or companies, or even us as an industry sector, to get behind a movement that entails all of us coming to work that day, having a load of fun with it, but ultimately kind of really moving the needle in terms of fundraising for people that really need it.
So what specifically happens on the day?
So on the day, if people are donating their day, they go to work as usual. But because we've been able to collaborate with War Child, it's got a pretty large social media platform to back it up. So if on the 20th of June, everybody's getting involved, we'll have hashtags that will support what they're doing. You'll be I think a lot of companies are putting lunch on for their staff. We have a load of fun with it. We're all going to be wearing War Child t-shirts for the day. We're going to be inviting our clients to get involved, get our contractors on site, really use this as a platform to be able to explain and celebrate the fact that we're actually not just going to work that day, but we're actually trying to make a difference with it. And then in the evening, there'll be a coming together where War Child and Arrows Group put on a big party at Flatiron Square.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. It's one not to miss. If you've seen any of the parties that War Child have been able to put on in the past, I've been to quite a few. They're well worth doing. So as a day, it's a coming together of people, of like-minded people who want to do something different for the day and make a difference to people who need it the most. Really,
I love it. Why? Obviously, the reason we're talking about it is that we want to not only promote this as an initiative, but really we want to get the recruitment agency audience involved because that's our audience who we're talking to. So why do you think it'd be beneficial for recruiters, whether that's the owner or the individuals in the businesses, to get behind this initiative on the 20th of June?
Yeah, and that's a massive part of why we're doing this, because I think the recruitment sector as a whole, we're really good at marketing internally. We're good at marketing to each other in terms of our employee value propositions or our customer value propositions, but we're not as a sector great at marketing beyond our own sector, in my opinion.
That's why I started what I started.
Exactly, and I think there's we're getting better, but there's work to be done. But I don't think that's because, and when it comes to CSR and taking a strategic approach to giving, we are evolving as an industry, and I'm a firm believer in the fact that having a really strong approach to giving actually builds your company. Because if you think about the key stakeholders in our line of work, what we're all battling for and fighting for is, attracting the best new talent, developing that talent, engaging that talent, and then ultimately weaving a narrative around their role to give it purpose and meaning. And that's our competitive advantage, really, as our people. So this initiative works really well for our sector, because it's an opportunity for us to make a difference to a cause that is a really easy one to get behind, because there's over 30 million people displaced by war at the moment. Most of those are children, and they're in pretty ghastly situations. But as an industry, we're able then to empower the employee value proposition of the recruitment companies that want to get involved. And then for anyone who's running a recruitment company, we also we've got a whole media pack that will give them partnership status with War Child. So when someone who's running a recruitment company looks at this and go, why should we get involved? It's about being able to give them the tools off the shelf straight away as a partner to War Child that they can then use for all of their work for us, collateral, customer engagement stuff, and market it across all their channels. So I think in this, through this Donate Your Day, the concept works because obviously we're raising money for a good cause. We're also enriching the roles of people working in our sector, and we're also giving a really compelling reason for companies to also use, to also get involved, because there's a lot in it for them in terms of building their brand.
There's a lot of recruitment agencies as well. I think they want to do CSR initiatives, they just don't know what to do. Yeah. And it's a little bit like marketing. They want to do marketing, they just don't know what to do. So what we're saying is this is a real opportunity to get on board with something that's already planned.
Yeah.
You can follow the steps effectively of what the day is all about and just get involved, rather than having to spend more time in the boardroom or whatever planning what can we do to give back.
I think, the bare bones of it is, and I've been in this situation before, the desire's always been there to do something, and we're jumping in and out of different causes because we knew we wanted to have our brand synonymous with making a difference and giving something back, because in this day and age that's an absolutely critical point that every company's got to be able to answer. It's not just we're really good at what we do, you also need to be able to answer the question of why are we here, what's our business's purpose. I get asked that by graduates coming into interview with us now. I never used to get asked that 15 years ago. So I think having something that's compelling, where the business can take that on and be able to answer that question and do some brand building alongside being able to make a difference is, I would have bitten the hand off someone offering me that a few years ago, because we didn't have the infrastructure to do it.
100%. So, look, 81% of the recruitment agency audience are sub 10 staff. Lots and lots of people, maybe 1 or 2 staff. So if they haven't got the head count to necessarily donate a day, they can still make a donation of whatever they want, right? Absolutely.
That we're not putting any I'm not trying to put barriers to entry into this. I think the empowering thing about this Donate Your Day is it's personally driven. It's a person making a personal decision to donate their day and work for free. That's a big commitment to make. And therefore we put a lot of work in to make sure there's a massive reward for that, in terms of how much fun we're going to have with it on the day, in terms of the amount of press exposure that they and their company will get as a result. So I think donating a day is a big part of this, but if it's a small company and they want to make a one-off donation, then absolutely, we're open to this, that every single pound that we're able to raise makes a massive difference.
Did you say one person's day supports 2 children?
Yeah. So on average, if we look at the average recruiter, if they donate their day on their basic salary, they're going to help between 2 and 4 kids get out of harm's way for a whole year.
Wow.
And these are kids that are child soldiers. They are caught up in refugee camps where they've been separated from their parents. I mean, they're pretty much the toughest scenarios you can imagine all around the world. And you can actually, as an individual, through your day, you can help safeguard the future of those kids. If you come together as a team or as a company, we're starting to talk about tens or hundreds of children. And if we come together as an actual recruitment sector, which I'm really proud that we are, then we're talking about thousands of people's lives that we can really affect. So it's all there for us to achieve. We just need to get involved, really.
Love it. So that leads on to my final question. How do people get involved? What do they need to do?
So that's the easiest bit. You get in touch with me. I'm really, really hands-on with this campaign. We've got it's very simple. All of my contact details will be sent along with this video. You send them through to me. I'll make a direct introduction to War Child, who will give the company, they'll do a due diligence check on them to make sure that there's nothing strange in the background, like arms dealing in Iraq or something like that. That could be any conflict. Assuming that there isn't, War Child would set them up to donate their day. You get a media pack immediately. And that media pack will have everything from co-branded images, assets, videos that can be shared across all of your social channels, all of your marketing channels. And then on the day, you'll be supported by Arrows Group Foundation and War Child to have a bit of fun. There's going to have some competitions on the day. We've got a charity salesperson awards, stuff like that. And then in the evening, we all come together and have some fun and celebrate the fact that we made a difference.
Cool. Well, we're going to be there. And we're
that's cool.
Hoping to see more of the recruitment audience out there. And let's hope it's a good day.
Thanks, Sean. Looking forward to seeing you there, mate.
Awesome.